Using pivot points in Forex trading. We want to learn how to use pivot point today. Pivot points is the most consistent and reliable trading tools for technical analysis. It is widely used by many Forex traders and it is less subjective. That is, it's a kind of technical tool that can be used with greater reliability. It does not really entirely depend on individual interpretation or personal opinion. Okay, so it's more of a mathematical tools. Pivot point can be calculated from any time frame, but the most popular ones are daily pivot point, weekly pivot point, monthly pivot point, and yearly pivot point. Some traders can go as low as 4 hours or 1 hour, but for people like us that are long-term and medium-term traders, we prefer to use to stop at daily pivot point. We cannot go lower than daily pivot point first if we actually want information that is meaningful. Now, when we are using pivot points, what we should understand is that we have an uptrend when price is above the pivot point. There is the trend is said to be bullish, to be up when price is above the pivot point. However, we have a downtrend, a bearish trend, when price is moving below the pivot point. Okay. Now, what do we do when we know where the trend in which we have found ourselves? The law is to ride the trend. So the trend is our friend. So what do? We buy only during uptrends and we sell only during downtrends. So that is a very powerful thing that we have from pivot point here. So we sell during downtrends and we buy during uptrends. You can get the pivot point calculator from this link. Personally, I have developed my own pivot point on a spreadsheet which I used to calculate. But if you go to this link, you get something like this. This is what you have. Okay, then let's see. Let's go straight and see how to calculate pivot point. This is my chart. You get the chart. Let me go to daily time frame so that we can calculate the daily pivot point. Now this is it, daily pivot point, daily chart of Euro USD. What we need to calculate pivot points are three. The classic pivot points, we are going to use first and foremost, we need data about yesterday's previous time frame on the chart. Sorry, previous chart and previous candle or previous bar, previous session on the chart that we are watching. This is daily chart. We want to calculate daily pivot points, so we need to focus on yesterday's candle, which is the previous candle. So this is the candle here, which has this data. It has open, high, low, and close. We are only going to use high, low, and close. So that is what we're going to fill in. The high is 1.1228. Let's go here. 1.1228 here. We fill it here. 1.1228. The moment we finish filling 1, 2, 3, then this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 will be filled also automatically. That is the calculator. This is where we fill in the data, and this is where we have the calculations made automatically. So we are filling the low, and the next is the high of the same candle, which is 1.1228. 1.1228, and the last is the close of the candle. The close of this candle is 1.1131. So we fill it as 1.1131. So when we click on go here, you see all this field will be filled, and we have, yes, these are our resistance levels. Resistance 1, resistance 2, resistance 3. This is the major pivot point, and this is support 1, support 2, and support 3. Now I don't use this one, so I just give this one for you to use so that you can use it if you don't have one pivot point calculator yourself. So let's go to my spreadsheet, and I fill in the same data. This is my Euro USD for today. So I've already filled in the same data here, my high, the low, and the close. So when I click here, I have my data for Euro USD. The pivot point is 1.11. See the pivot point, see 1.1164. So I put that on the chart. It's there already. Let me empty everything. Let me make remove all this from the chart so that we start. Yes. Now let's come to insert here, and then I click on horizontal. Can you see that? I like yellow for pivot point. This is the yellow. Click this place and then click this yellow here. 1.1164, 1.1164. That's our pivot point. So once we've done that, since we are looking at daily charts, daily pivot points, we have to scroll down to, we have to switch our chart to daily into 1 hour. We have to switch down to, since we have gotten our pivot point, we switch down to 1 hour so that we can have the idea of what has been happening. So this was yesterday, this is today. Okay, now what do you see here? The price opened below the pivot point. Then what do we have? We have a downtrend. The thing is, the practice is to sell, because we say we sell during downtrend. But the price could not make it to a reasonable low. If it had gone down, we would have targeted S1, which is the next support below the pivot point. These are pivot point. The next support is S1, which is 1.1107. Please, when I'm using this my own calculator, I have to approximate to the 4 decimal places. So that's 1.1101. Okay. So we have, I use red color for my support. So 1.1101 red. Okay, that's cool. Okay, so we have our, I have to adjust the chart. Is my support. Now since the price is below the pivot point, I'm supposed to sell. So what will I do? I have to sell midpoint between the pivot point and S1. I'm selling midpoint below the pivot point and the S1. So one way of easily locating that is that I use my Fibonacci tracements, and I place it as this so as to, it can be calculated anyway, but I don't have time for that, so I put it here and I put it here so that I can get the midpoint. The midpoint is the 50%. So there are some pivot point calculator that automatically calculates the midpoint on your chart, so you can also go for them too. So now you can see now that the price, the midpoint is 1.1132. So price did not make it to that midpoint, so I did not sell. Even though we had a downtrend where I'm supposed to sell, I did not sell, so I left it. Now the next thing is for me to buy, because the price has broken above the pivot point now and it started going up. So the next thing is check the next resistance, which is my spreadsheet, which is R1, 1.1208. The resistance here is 1.1208. 1.1208, right? So I use blue for my resistance so that there will be no colored conflict. So these are R1. Now the price here, the next thing is I have to check the entry. If my entry, I'm going to use Fibo. Okay, now the Fibo is here. put it here. Then I have to pick the 50% as my entry price. So the 50%, FIBO 50% is the midpoint between the pivot point and the R1. Now, can you see this? Now, this is my R1 here, and this is my pivot point. So I'm going to buy at the midpoint. I'm buying at the midpoint, and target R1. So what do we do here? We buy here and target this place, and then the stop loss can be at the pivot point, but the stop loss can be 50 pips since we are using ZuluTrade and we are trading Euro USD. It is not always advisable to be using fixed 50 pips as the stop loss, especially if you are trading different pairs. But since I focus majorly on Euro USD, this particular currency pair, so it's convenient for me to use 50 pips on when I'm trading using the daily pivot point. But what happened here is that this thing did not get here before the price closed for the day. So what do? Either we leave it the following day, or once the price did not hit our take profit level, what do? We close it manually. Whichever way, we must always ensure that we do not allow our profit to evaporate due to greed and negligence. This is how I use pivot point whenever I'm trading Forex. Thank you very much. I'm still going to produce more videos to further explain how I apply pivot point on weekly, daily, monthly, and yearly. Thank you very much.